Jerry Gross, back with Tony Dokoupil, author of the new book, The Last Pirate, A Father, His Son, and the Golden Age of Marijuana. Dokoupil's father was a marijuana dealer and smuggler in the 1970s and 80s. He became a partner in what Dokoupil describes as the biggest East Coast dope ring of the Reagan years. His parents separated when he was young, and his father dropped out of sight when Dokoupil was 10 after retiring from the business. It wasn't until Dokoupil was about 30 that he found out about his father's dealing and smuggling. It's a really complicated, crazy story, the way your father finally gets arrested for a 1986 smuggling operation, but he gets arrested for several years later in the early 1990s. And it's a complicated story. Let's try to make it really simple, which is going to be impossible because the person who gives his name to the federal agents is actually not only your father's former partner, but the person who became your mother's boyfriend and then husband, your stepfather.
I was the best man at the wedding. Yes.
And in fact, one of the reasons you said that your mother and stepfather were in love, but that one of the main reasons your mother married your stepfather was that so you would be exempted from testifying against him. You don't have to testify against a spouse.
Right, anyone who's seen Breaking Bad knows that you can't be compelled to testify against your spouse. My father bought him out after he was 6, lost everything, ended up homeless. He was in love with romanticism, so of course even in homelessness he's living a romantic life. Sitting in lifeguard stands on Miami Beach. And he begins to climb back up into some kind of mainstream existence. He gets a job in the beach on Miami Beach in 1990. He's going to Narcotics Anonymous meetings. And at that time, as he's trying to make his way back toward me, back toward fatherhood, back toward normalcy, one of Reagan's task forces, the New England Drug and Organized Crime Task Force, is closing in on the ring that my father was part of. It busts Willie Terry, who was the smuggler extraordinaire in Portugal at that time. He went to Portugal to live the high life, but he couldn't, like my father, continued to live excessively, and he gets noticed as a white guy with a Ferrari in a resort town in Portugal. The feds go to visit him. They bust him at the dentist. They put him in jail there, and they say, if you cooperate, we can get you out and get you back home. So he agrees. And the person that he turns along with him to make the case, to confirm what he's saying, is my stepfather. And this was a difficult thing to discover in the reporting process. According to my stepfather's close friends, my stepfather had a plan, and that plan was: we know that your father has money buried. We know that the feds don't know about it. If I cooperate, I can get immunity for myself. I can lock off your mother as a source of information, and we can dig up that cash. It can be ours. And who cares if Big Tony goes to jail? And so that's what they did.